Alrighty, in this updated video on the electrical charging mechanism system and design for bicycle touring, we have the Anker Prime, and it has C1 and C2 for charging ports, USB-Cs. And I realized through just looking at it, and so I made this purchase kind of rapid fire, but I bought this guy, and I now realize that ended up being a mistake in that the USB ports on the controller in question right here do not meet the output that we need to charge up the Anker in time. So I did a bit more due diligence in trying to dial in and maximize the setup to the fullest ability while maintaining its lightness. And so in doing the due diligence, we came up with right here, this guy, which is going to have 140 watt output. And then this bottom one is going to be 65 watts output. And you can't have, and it's ironically interesting, so you don't want them in parallel. I believe that's where it says. Somewhere down here it says you don't want them in parallel or series or one of the two, but I don't really know all the differences and the different nuances. But basically, I have to have, for the best setup possible, I have to run 2 USB-Cs. So what's going to happen is the setup, and these weigh 2 ounces, by the way. So that's super light, super awesome, and they connect directly into your solar panel. So what's going to end up happening is I'm going to buy 2 of these, and I'm going to connect them individually to each individual solar panel, and I'll run the cables down over to the power banks that I'm charging, which is going to be the Anker. So you've got your 140 watts right here. You need both of them plugged in for the 140 watt fast charge. Otherwise, it's like 60 or 70 or something per thing to charge up. And you got 22 watts output right here. So in my setup, I believe I'm going to go with 2 of the Anker batteries, the new modern ones. 2 of these guys in conjunction with this cable. And I chose this cable, A, because it meets the 140 watts standard that we need. And this cable on Amazon is rated for up to 240 watts of power delivery. And what's cool about this one is I'll be able to look at the cable and I'll be able to see that this cable is putting in 60 watts into my power banks. And so I'll be able to look and see and have fun with it. And I'll be able to see, oh, my solar panel is giving me 60 watts out of this one and 70 out of the other one. And then I'll run these 2 cables because it's a 2-pack. I'll run these 2 from the solar panel into the Anker, and then I will use the Ankers to charge up the different GoPros, the batteries, the accessories, the phone, you name it. And then the idea is I'll just have these on rotation. So with the 140 watt fast charging, it takes about 40 minutes to an hour. And so each GoPro battery lasts about an hour, and I had 3 of them on my first trip. This next trip, I'm going to have 6 batteries in total, and I also have a charger that charges all 3 up simultaneously. So we, going forward, should have pretty much 0 battery issues. The other thing that the solar power setup is going to do for me is it's going to give me independence from having to go up to stores or to get permission to siphon power from wherever I'm at in the universe. And in theory, worst case scenario, super cloudy or rainy day, like all day, like if I'm out in Seattle or something touring, I'll still be able to get by with this stuff. Or like even if I do end up going into a coffee shop or whatever to sit down for coffee, even a half-hour charge on this 140 watt input is very substantial because these are 26,000 mAh battery banks. Your typical smartphone nowadays is like 7,000 mAh. Each GoPro battery is about 2,000 mAh. So you do the numbers on that. There's a pretty significant amount of charging that you can do with these, and how quickly you can charge and uncharge these things. And these battery banks weigh about a pound, 1.3 pounds or so per piece. And so if I have 2 or 3 of these on hand, you're golden. And I'm moving away from the jackery as a result, because it just doesn't make sense for the touring setup. And the controller, as mentioned earlier, the USB ports are not adequate on this, but it was in the right direction. The mindset was in the right direction. Even though this is a $10 option, which is superior to spending, which in this case is going to end up being $240 plus tax, like $258 or some crazy number like that to get this set up. Unfortunately, you kind of have to pay a premium to maximize and optimize the setup, and so we're still in the maximize and optimize phase of our bicycle touring setup. And just trying to make sure that when we do hit the road, and when this channel does take off to the point where it can sustain and I can afford to do this full time, we're 100% ready to go. We're dialed in. We've maximized potential input and output in all the different areas, and we have the ability to source parts locally or further away. But the important thing is to have lists of all of these items that I've purchased, like the UPC numbers, the websites, the names of the businesses, screenshots of all of this. I'm going to set up a binder actually on like a Google Doc sheet that I can access remotely. And the idea is that if I have a product that isn't working and I need to quickly look something up, I'll be able to access that component on my tour when I'm touring, and I can have it shipped to a local Amazon Dropbox or a local USPS or UPS store for pickup. But that in general, so that's pretty much where we're going with this on the charging aspects of everything. This summer, I'm going to be doing a tour where I utilize these solar panels in a legitimate capacity to demonstrate and to affirm that these thought processes are working and that they're executing at a high level for when I do a longevity-based tour where it's like one side of the country to the other and you're just going. So yeah, we'll see what happens with this new approach. If you have any feedback, comments, questions, put it down below. Thank you very much for watching. Hit that sub button. I need it. You need it. We need it. Onward to glory. Have a good one. It's always a good day. It's nothing but a choice. Let's go.